Hello and welcome to this video by Bespoke JPL. This is a project we did for a good customer of ours. It was some stained glass that came out of a front door and they wanted it framing in something unusual, and ultimately this is going to be backlit and put on the wall as a piece of wall art. So this is us cutting the frame up. Now this was part of several projects we were doing, and we were working towards a budget on this, as we obviously normally are, but we felt to get what the customer was looking for here, we didn't need to spend a fortune on live edge wood or anything like that. So this is effectively made out of just CLS, straight from the sawmill or your big box B&Q, whatever it is. And effectively we're making the frame out of that, A, because it's cheap, B, because it's obviously structurally fairly substantial and sound, and it also gives us a bit of a blank canvas. So this is us putting a groove into the wood to hold the glass nice and securely. We've got the correct rotor bit, and this is us rotoring that groove throughout the whole of the frame. We sort of calculated what would look best as a reveal at the front, but also to give us enough material at the back to put some LED lighting in and things like that. So this is just dry fitting it, making sure it all seems pretty sound. Measuring up for the miters, cutting the miters on the miter saw, making sure everything matches up nicely. Obviously, being an old piece of stained glass, it's not perfectly square, so a few adjustments there. Now this is us trying to be creative here by putting a fake live edge into the wood to give it some character, make it look a little bit different. This can actually be one of the most difficult parts of the project, because it's very difficult to make something look natural. Having done it a few times now, you do get a bit of an idea what to do and how to do it, but it's just a matter of trial and error with this really. Using an angle grinder here and a special bit that's a very fierce bit. Now I would just like to say that this isn't intended as an instructional video, it is purely for entertainment purposes only, and it's also just to showcase the varied types of work that we do at Bespoke JPL. Once we've done that, you do need to sand it to take out some of the rough marks on it. Again, make it look a little bit more natural, like it's just worn over time. There's loads of things you can do with this. You can bang it with chains and things like that. There's lots of other options to effectively age the wood, or I guess you could say distress it. But as I say, this does take a little bit of time. It's just trying to get the right look. And obviously it's a very personal thing as well. We do consult with the customer quite a lot to identify exactly the look that they want. So when we've got to this stage and we've got everything ready, we're going to have a dry fit and just make sure that it all goes together well. Obviously the stained glass isn't totally square, being very old. So some minor alterations are made to the frame. Make sure the miters are good. Now we've put this together. You can obviously do this several different ways. If it was more structural required, then you'd be looking at dowels or dominoes or something like that. But we're just putting this together with CA glue, which might seem to some people not the greatest product to use, but I think anybody in the trades would know that this is a very strong product. Goes off straight away with the accelerator, or within 10 seconds at least. And if you ever try to break one of these joints, you'll actually more likely to crack and break the wood than you are the actual joint that you've put on with this stuff. So it's very good, especially for this sort of decorative piece. And it again just speeds up the process of making the item, which reduces the cost of the customer as well. Now I would say that if you're bored of listening to me by now, I'm not surprised, but there is another video, it's the exact same video, but it's just got music overlaid it. So if you're just interested in watching the project come together, that might be of more use to you. We thought we'd do a voiceover on it just to explain some of the little points and bits that we do during the course of it, because I know some people will be more interested in hearing about the process and the things that we do whilst making this. So this is the frame now all together, looking good, but we went a bit further. We suggested to the customer a way of giving it even more of a unique look and giving it that more distressed look, to use pyrography, or sometimes it's called, I think, poker work in the UK, wood burning. I think it's probably an easier way of describing it. So blowtorch on it and just go over it, make it look how you want effectively with this. It is worth noting you do need to sand it afterwards to take just some of the ash off it, otherwise you will get transfer from it. So it's better to do probably a little bit more than less with this. And we're also using a metal heat protectant plate here, because I didn't want to run the risk of getting heat onto the glass and having a bit of a accident there. So we're just using that to protect it whilst I'm burning it, making sure we've got a nice even burn over the whole wood. And this gives a great unique look. And again, this isn't really too scientific. It's however you want it to look. And again, this is several consultations and also showing the customer samples before we actually go ahead with the final product. Now, we do sand it after this, and then we decided to put on this, which I would sort of recommend for a few different reasons, is just to seal it. This is just a clear varnish. Helps seal the wood, although the actual burning does that to some degree. But this is sealing it, and also it's a satin finish, clear varnish, so it just makes it pop a little bit more, protects it, make it easier to clean, makes the wood a little bit more stable by sealing it up, depending on what environment you're going to be putting this in. But this had 2 coats of clear varnish all the way around. And the project, obviously, you can really start to see where it's coming together now. So the customer themselves are going to add the LEDs onto the back of this, and they're actually hanging it as wall art, which I think I've mentioned. They are having some work done on the property at the minute, so we haven't got the final product up on the wall backlit. We will update you on that on the socials, or do an upload on the videos to show you that. If you're considering any bespoke woodworking projects, resin projects, tables, any furniture, vanity units, anything of that nature, whatever, we're here to help. Give us a call, give us an email, whatever's easy for you. Contact details are on the description and on our channel. We obviously also do any joinery, carpentry work as well. So bye for now. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'm going to go crack on.